Welcome to the Tabletop Admiral Power Hour, brought to you by Force Ghost Mattresses, forcing changes to the way people sleep. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tabletop Admiral Power Hour, the only hour-long Star Wars Legion podcast that
is over in just 30 minutes.
That was great. We spent 45 minutes rehearsing that, so I hope that landed. I'm Steven.
I'm Andrew.
Sweet. Should we just jump right in?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay. I changed my mind.
Let's ease in. Let's ease in. Let's just stare at each other for a minute or two. Stare at the listeners.
Good.
That makes for great radio. Dead air is great radio. Anyone listening to this on podcast. Quick refresher for everyone from last episode. We tend to play weekly, and we pretty much always do red versus blue. So we've got two games that we want to talk about this time. Both were interesting. Why don't you set the scene for game one?
Set it up. Game one, clones versus droids. Clones still really good.
Yeah.
Droids we're getting the hang of, but we got some things.
This one was frustrating. Okay, let's cover lists. So I was playing droids, and again, I'm buying new units, I'm getting them painted. So basically these games are a good time pressure for me to get models painted so we can get new stuff on the board. So this time I finally got Cad Bane painted up, so that was kind of cool. So knew I wanted to put him on the table. So very quickly my droid list was General Grievous. It was Count Dooku, which I sometimes call Dukas, which then I just mix them up in my head. So it was Dukas. It was Cad Bane.
Brangelina.
Yes, exactly.
Dooku and Grievous.
Yeah, I had kind of the standard kit on Dukas, right? He had Force Push, I think I had Force Choke, and Force Reflexes. And I think I actually this time took Esteemed Leader, so he could Guardian 1 stuff. Since I knew that half of my command cards were going to be on Cad, I wasn't sure Aggressive Tactics was really worth it, but I don't know how I feel about that. Cad was actually fairly bare bones. He was... He had Offensive Push, and he had... Help me out, Andrew.
Ascension Cables.
Ascension Cables, yes. And then I had 5 B1 units. One of them had an HQ uplink. Of course, they had their heavy. I had a B2 unit with the range 3 gun. I think it's the B2. Ha!
Ha!
And, ha! Just that's
that
noise you get to make when you're rolling those dice with Blast. And then I also had 1 unit of Droidicas. I think that covers the droid list for that game.
I think it does.
Okay, how about you?
I had Rex with Vigilance, Situational Awareness, and his jetpacks. Padme all decked out with Vigilance, Situational Awareness, and her blaster, of course. R2 and C-3PO.
Yep, Artie Duty.
2 Phase 2s with Z6s and the extra dude and targeting scopes.
I forgot about the targeting scopes. Did you ever use the targeting scopes?
I probably forgot I had them. That's just something
I did. To do. Yeah, cool. Well, that was balancing out you accidentally putting an extra squad on the table at the start.
Yeah. You got to take what you can get.
Yeah.
Just cheatsies.
Yeah, you got to.
And I had
7 clone trooper core units would be incredible. If one of the new commanders has like entourage where you can just get a 7th, I'm doing it every time.
And then I just had 2 Z6 Phase 1 squads and 2 DC-15 Phase 1 squads. Which I liked the variety.
I do too. We've talked a lot about that, which ones are better. And the DC-15 is still like, I know the Z6 is just a dice machine, and if you're sharing aims and stuff, but I don't know. That DC-15 is so reliable. I never regret taking it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the extra range and the critical one. I feel like critical one, especially in the early times when you're shooting at range 4 and can't, your whole squad can't shoot. I don't know, gives you a chance of
when you're
something.
chipping damage like that, just going for a chippy. But even still, even in the regular dice pool, all the blacks and the 2 reds, it's the critical one just feels better than 6 like random dice, because those white dice are just a slot machine, right? Yeah, you never know. Sometimes they're incredible. Sometimes they're just like, well, I got 1 hit.
It's all a roll of the dice.
It really is. It really is. And speaking of dice, your red saves. This game and every game. I mean, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say you saved 75% of your saves with those red dice.
And I
Maybe even
deserved
more.
all of it.
Yeah, it might have been more. Honestly, you might have saved more than that. Because it was disgusting.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, yeah. Again,
I felt bad after I did it every time.
Good. You should
Yeah.
have. You should have felt bad. So that was a good game. What was the mission that we even played? I don't even remember. Did we do? Oh, I know it was Long March. It was Long March, and it was Vaporators. It was Vaporators, and I was blue player. And this was the first time playing CAD, so I think the real story is around Cad Bane, because Long March had us so far apart on Vaporators that really the smart play for me on blue would have just been like hide my guys and be like, come get me. But we're not going to play that way for A, friendly basement legion. B, when there's a new unit, you got to test them. You got to push them to the limit. So I
And
basically
you pushed him to the limit.
I really did. He was fun. I really liked him, and I think now having seen him, he's going to be a lot of fun to put on the table again. I deployed him like way far forward, like just outside of his deployment zone, but up on a spire where he could have had some really good cover. I think I probably could have thought about it a little better and given him better cover than what he wound up with, because he did get shot to pieces, which I knew was a possibility. White dice, danger sense just isn't really enough to keep someone alive like that, but he had some shenanigans.
Yeah, and he did. He put a hurting on me.
Yeah, I think his explosion was the only time you failed more than one save at a time, and he killed like 3 guys in one explosion.
Yep.
And his just steady is awesome. He was peeking, taking a shot, offensive push with those aims, kind of peeked around, took a shot, got back and hid. But I kind of forgot that you gave Rex the jetpacks.
Yeah.
But even still, he gave Rex a run for his money too.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 clones alone were worth, a fair chunk of his points.
Yeah, definitely. And he got some other kills too, if I recall. He put some damage on Rex, killed maybe 1 or 2 other clones. But all in all, again, I deployed him like so far forward that the whole game was basically Cad versus Andrew's army while we were both doing the Vaporators. Because honestly, Long March as blue player with Vaporators should have been the most boring, easy win, I think probably possible, but again, we're not going to play like that. But really, so then we both kind of just were pushing to the middle, because I think we wanted to see some dice rolled. And Dukas got in and did Dooku things, but in the end, I just could not finish squads. I mean, how many squads of like 1 dude did you have left?
At least, well, I
did. I finished off 2 squads, but they took just heaps of shooting.
There were stragglers hanging around for a long time.
Yeah. I think they did finally die, but I do think I shot at them like just a ridiculous amount of times. And good shots too. In fact, my B2s with the got like really close. I think they might have even had an aim, or maybe not, but either way, they did like 1 hit on that whole dice pool of a full strength B2 unit with ignoring cover. I remember just rolling those and be like, okay, all right, here we go. Cool.
Don't hold it against them.
Love it. Yeah.
Hold it against yourself.
I do still like the B2s, and that was the first time using the and I kind of like it. I think I might like it better than the other one, especially with Cycle. Cycle makes the exhaust feel not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like the Ha better. I mean, gives you something to do before.
Do you like the Who or the Ha better?
The Who. Huh?
Yeah, sure. Normal, standard.
Normal. And it's, I just think having something that's range 3, because I think we discovered before that you kind of want to hold them back a little bit before you just dive in and get killed.
Yeah.
So,
I actually think I played pretty well that game, all things considered. I think that was maybe the closest clone droid game we've had in a hot minute, and I honestly think if your dice had skewed a little more normal, it could have gone south for you quick, because I had droids in really good spots. I think I was pushing up with Dukas and the boys Dukas and the boys this Friday night at Watto's pub or whatever.
Not a
And
sponsor.
so that one ended without me feeling like we have after some of the games being like, cool, how do you play droids? you know
Yeah, yeah, it's getting closer,
yeah.
and that was a good setup for them. I think the
Mhm.
long march with the Vaporators.
Yeah, yeah. And I will say again, we're painting stuff as I like buy and paint it. So I don't yet have the staps. I'm actually working right now on the BX droids, so that's gonna be next game. So I know that we're like hilariously behind on what's available for the Clone Wars stuff. I have everything done, I think, for the other factions. I think I have everything except for Dewbacks. It's like, oh, not that excited about him. So
Yeah,
so we are a little behind on those.
but within the
Uh,
sponsorships, we should be able to pretty much buy whatever we want.
that's right. Yeah, man. These sponsorships are. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, listeners. They're not going great, and I do have a brief statement from Tabletop Admiral Corporate on Coruscant. As of today, Joe's Discount Harness will no longer be a sponsor of the Tabletop Admiral Power Hour. Further, we'd like to remind listeners that Joe's harnesses are to be used for their intended purpose only, which is morally acceptable harnessing and other harness related activities.
To put it bluntly, they're not swings.
They are not. Joe was very adamant that we stressed that fact. So we're sorry, Joe. We're sorry for the hurt we've caused you and your family. Um, you know,
His mother cried.
yeah. We'll just move. We'll just move right along from
My
that.
boy made a sex swing business.
Whoa! What kind of swing are you talking about?
uh,
I didn't know
uh,
that's what Joe was. I didn't think Joe was upset about that. That all makes
mm,
sense now.
yeah, yeah. People
Man,
got the wrong idea.
they did. Yeah, Joe was not happy.
No,
He was frothing. He's fuming.
but I think we've learned from our mistakes, and we won't ever get it wrong again.
That's right. We've grown. We've grown as podcasters, and we will
Uh
definitely be better. So we played another game,
huh. Yep.
game two, and again, we're new units getting painted. I was rushing to get these done. Very, very happy with how they turned out, by the way. I posted a picture on Tabletop Admirals. If you scroll down for the pictures, I recently got 2 boxes of Mandalorians painted up. I did the 2 generic squads and the Clan Ren. So was very excited to get that on the board.
And they delivered.
They
I
did.
would say.
Yeah, that was a really fun game. So I played. Let's see if I can get it right. See if I remember. Andrew has the list, so you can check me. I had Sabine, and she was pretty bare bones. She had situational awareness and her combat shield. And then I had 2 Mando squads, the generics, with the Beskad duelist, the jetpack rockets, and offensive push. Then I had Clan Ren with obviously Ursa and Tristan. They had situational awareness since they're getting that free dodge, and I think that's it that they had.
That's it.
Then I had 2 Rebel Trooper squads with the captain, so they get the training slot, and then situational awareness. I had 1 just naked Rebel squad, which Joe also wrote us another strongly worded letter about. Troopers should be fully clothed. He thought we were talking about, yeah.
Our
And then,
sponsors are. We
yeah,
won't sponsor podcasts that talk about nudity in any form.
that's right, not in any acceptable way. And then I had fleet troopers as well, who were also naked, without the gun. Which I wish I had that gun because they actually got in close, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. Like I
Yeah.
never get them in close. Maybe it's because they didn't have the gun, and so you didn't care.
Right.
About
There
it.
were too many tasty targets. And
Yeah,
TTTs.
yeah, exactly. So, and then I also had the generic rebel officer who had vigilance and a portable scanner, and then I had naked Artie Duty. Sorry, nude Artie Duty.
Nudie duty.
Nudie Artie Nudie.
Beautiful.
So, just a very fun mobile list, and we'll talk about Mandalorian thoughts. But Andrew, why don't you talk through your list?
I had a fun immobile list. I had Palpatine, who's I would think he's probably my favorite. He's kind of been my go-to for a while.
Yeah, you like a
Whether
Palp.
or not he's the best in the world, I don't know, but he's pretty close. He had anger as always, force guidance, and I
He
tried
does
force.
kind of have anger issues. In
Yeah,
general. Sorry to
Yes.
cut you off. That wasn't worth ruining your train of thought.
I think it was. He
Okay,
doesn't seem like a good guy.
that's true.
Uh, yeah, I tried Force Barrier, which I think was worth it.
I think so too.
Imperial Officer with strict orders and electro binoculars, which also I think probably worth it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so too.
I my idea was to have the beefiest shore troopers I could. Well, close to the beefiest. So I had, of course, their T-21, the extra shore trooper, and offensive push. So I had two squads of them. Idea
Right.
being pull the strings on them so that they, you know, because that dice pool was just disgusting.
Yeah, it hurt.
And then I had two mortars, which we'll talk about, I guess, but
Yeah.
debatable. Some naked stormtroopers, the IRG with the Electro Staff Guard, and just two sniper squads.
Yeah. And this was a case of the blue. I was blue player, and a hyper mobile list like the Mandos are definitely put Andrew on the back foot from the get go.
Yeah,
What did we
we
wind
played
up
Bombing
playing?
Run.
Bombing Run
Yeah,
on battle lines
yeah,
with supply drop. Yeah, my Mandalorian. So let me say this. Going into this, I painted the models. Was like, these guys look awesome. I couldn't really wrap my head around how they would perform, and Andrew can attest. Like the night before, I was like, dude, these guys they cannot be worth the points. Shout out to our buddy Reha. I hit him up. Like, how do people play these? I don't really understand how they work. I think we both hit up the Discord, the Legion Discord, which I had never done before till Andrew mentioned it. Then I was like, oh yeah, we have like brain power. So I got some general guidance on the Mandalorians, but I still, their shooting is trash. Frankly, it's not trash. It's 8 black dice at full strength, which isn't that bad. But, unlike other lists where they have like the heavy that kind of gets sheltered until the end, you lose one and they're down 25% on their shooting capability. And with no sharpshooter or pierce, that felt like it was a major loss. So I was a little nervous about how that was going to work out. I think in practice, at least in that game, their mobility was just awesome. I mean, their mobility was killer. To just force you to be like, how the hell do I even deal with this? And like,
yeah,
I had R2D2 going up one edge of the board, and Andrew deployed some stuff to kind of stop them, and one Mandalorian squad could very quickly veer over there, deal with that, and then still be a part of the end game.
yeah.
So their speed was incredible, and their saves, for once, I had really good saves, like
You stole my
crazy good.
dice.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in a second. But even for the 3-up saves, I made a crazy amount of saves with those guys, and we'll talk about maybe the big hit in a second. Clan Rin, I'm less excited about overall, but I thought the generic squads were pretty awesome. And right off the bat on turn 1, because I was able to move so far, I was actually able to get shots on Andrew's sniper teams. His little what do they call that? The strike team,
Yeah,
team with the snipers, to where he wasn't fully corner peeking. Like I could move the 3 and jump to get into a position to see both models and then fire off those jetpack rockets. So really on turn 1, I eliminated both of those sniper teams. And Andrew knows how to corner peek. I think maybe in the future we'll both be even more aware of that, but it's not like you made a mistake there. It's just range
right.
4, speed 3 move is nasty.
Definitely don't expect somebody to come swoop in and ice your squad in the
Yeah.
first turn of the game.
And I doubt I'm ever going to get that again. I don't think you'll ever give that to me again, or
Yeah.
vice versa with the Mandalorians, knowing that. But still, that jetpack rocket is tasty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
blast. I mean,
Yeah. Blast was awesome, and the red dice. I think on one of them I popped the offensive push just because I really wanted to make sure. Wound
yeah,
up not. I don't think I missed a single one. I think
no,
both shots were 4 hits, and that melted those strike teams. And I could see like rebel troopers getting wrecked by that.
oh, yeah.
Any white save units especially, they're gonna get really wrecked by that. And I thought about focusing down one of your shore troopers. That was my
Right.
initial plan. Was kind of like, I'm gonna focus fire on one shore trooper unit because you had the full like 6 dudes in each, and I knew you were gonna be firing and then pulling the strings. So I was like, well, if I had to knock one of those out, that's gonna be big. but the opportunity just presented itself with that speed 3 move. I mean, speed 3, I don't often get units that move speed 3,
Right.
you know, and especially not trooper units. There's not that many. In fact, besides Boba Fett and Sabine, and then Tauntauns, which I don't really count in that. You don't often like internalize a speed 3. Like, it's hard for me to look at the board and be like, oh, that's a speed 3.
Yeah. It's always farther than you think.
Yeah, so when I actually get there, I'm like, whoa, I can get all the way up there? Okay, awesome. So, yeah, I wound up really liking the Mandos. Again, Clan Rin, maybe. I mean, I like that they had a dodge with nimble and situational awareness. That definitely helped them survive. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think just I guess the price difference is, well, I guess they're identical, huh?
Well, it's the total price is identical, but the Clan Rin costs the same, but they're only 3 bodies. Although they are actually two more wounds.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I that's my first game with them again. And in fairness, Clan Rin did. They took a lot of your attention. Let's say that.
Oh yeah.
So
that's solely practically.
So Andrew popped and Now You Will Die at what looked the board state looked perfect for it, and Andrew's very good at knowing when to pop that. He's done And Now You Will Die a gazillion times, and I pretty much was like, well, I know this is coming. I played Explosions to try to counter him, and I actually won, and then couldn't. I had 2 suppression on Sabine. And I didn't take the Darksaber like an idiot because I was trying to pack in all those other... So I couldn't really get the bombs where I wanted them, but I still put them in a pretty good spot. I still got them in a pretty good spot before And Now You Will Die went off. And then when it did, Andrew shot my Clan Rin twice. And both times he got... Was it 3 hits? I think it was 3 hits after cover and their dodge, which keeps coming back, and they had situational awareness. He got 3 hits after cover and dodges, and both times with Pierce 2, I made every single save. So I rolled 10 red dice and made 10 saves. So I took no damage from Palpatine, which was huge. I mean, that was crazy.
And now you will not die.
Yeah, I mean, they were suppressed and immobilized, but they were alive. And at that point, Palpatine spent 2 of his it's 5. He has 5 health, right?
Yeah.
So 40% of his health did effectively nothing other than some suppression, which hurt.
And half my And Now You Will Die is basically because
right. Yeah.
Can't use it 5 times. Yeah, it was demoralizing.
Yeah.
So then I switched to Sabine, I guess, right? Or your other
I think
Mandalorians.
you got the other Mandalorians, and they had been knocked down from some big shore shots. Again, they took a crazy amount of damage. I think you did a fire support, mortar, and like full strength shore trooper shot.
2 aims, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 aims. You're right. You had 2 aims because they got an order, and then that you what's it called?
Offensive push.
Was it offensive push? I thought you did the spotter.
It might have been spotter.
Either way, whatever. They had 2 aims.
Yeah, I guess
and even that, it killed 2 of them. And, which is like, that was a huge dice pool. And I think you got like 7 hits or something stupid.
Yeah.
And again,
so, I mean, that dice pool was what? 7 blacks, 3 whites, something like that?
I think it was
6 whites, I guess.
It was 7 blacks, 6 white.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I got
with 2 aims. And hits. You killed 2 of those 2 Mandalorians, which again was like, wow, these guys are pretty survivable. But they're dicey. I could see that, right? Compared to another equivalently costed unit with either more overall health, it's probably more reliable. Right. I was thinking, I saw someone kind of comparing them to Wookiees, and like Wookiees have a 1 in 6 save, so you don't really count on the save. But a 4 Wookiee unit has 12 health.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just flips it. Like if your dice go south with the Mandos, they're an expensive unit to have a poor die roll on. Whereas Wookiees, you're more like, yay, I got to save instead of like banking on save. So I could see that. Thankfully, in this game, the dice were with me, but I could see like 1 or 2 bad die rolls could really sink the Mandos.
Mm-hmm.
But they were awesome. This was a mission that Andrew's list was very ill-suited to play.
And yours was perfect for.
Yeah, which makes sense. I'm the blue player. But I do think you and I tend to play kind of similar-ish lists, even when we're facing off. So even red versus blue can sometimes feel like, okay, that's fine. This was
Yeah.
definitely a case of like very asymmetrical list. I had a highly mobile, five, no, 4 units in my list could move speed 3. And then R2D2, while he's not fast, he's very like, I'm going over there and you have to do something to deal with me. So my whole list was just suited to like moving up the board,
Yeah. I
jumping
wonder
from
if I should
cover to
have taken
cover.
breakthrough in hindsight. Then I could just, I don't know,
Yeah.
spread out, shoot you as you try to cross. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Tough to say. I mean,
Yeah.
but those were Andrew's choices too, which that was
Yeah.
also partially the draw. I think we had breakthrough, bombing run, and I don't remember what the other one was, but I think I killed it right
You
off the
did,
bat.
yeah.
It was the first spot, and it was like, oh, it was key positions,
Yeah.
and I was like, Palpatine key position, no thanks.
Yeah.
But then you were stuck with, I think the next one was bombing run and then breakthrough, and there were other things that you weren't happy with, like the deployments and all. So it wound
Yeah,
up
it was
being a
rough.
rough one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not a total stomping, but it wasn't
No,
looking good.
definitely not. And actually, we called it a little bit early. Just it was getting a little late in the day. And looking at the board state, I think I had it in the bag, but
Yeah.
I could also see again with those Mandalorians, one good shot that like wipes a unit or kills 3 of the unit would change the whole state of the board. So I don't think it was a fully. I think it was like an 80% chance of
Yeah,
victory
I
or
think you
something like that.
probably had the objectives, which is
Yeah,
obviously how you win the game. But I
right.
think as far as units killed, or points killed, we were pretty close,
Probably pretty close.
and
Yeah.
may have ended up in my favor by the end. But it's hard to say. I lost Palpatine. So.
Yeah, maybe so. You finally got Sabine right at the end, right? She actually died,
I
or she had one
think
health
so.
left,
Or
and I
yeah, she
think you
was
had a
gonna
good
die.
shot. So I think
Yeah,
she was. I think we agreed she was about to die, kind of when we called it. But I don't think I lost any other full units.
that's true.
But I don't. You hadn't actually lost that many full units either. Oh yeah,
Right.
you had the 2 snipers,
Well, yeah, that didn't help.
and I had a Mando squad about to jump and shoot those 4-man stormtroopers in the open. Not that they were gonna die, but they were definitely gonna be hurting after that. So,
Yeah.
anyways, there's a lot of like woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly in my favor, and that
I'll
was
give it to you.
from the get go. You'll give it to me. I appreciate.
Yeah,
That.
yeah, yeah. I'll give it. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, that was sure mentally exhausting, and I really needed a good rest after that game.
Well, if you need a good rest, then you'll love our next sponsor, Force Ghost Mattresses.
Yeah. Did you get yours in the
Yeah,
post? Because I got
yeah.
mine.
We haven't been able to put it on the bed yet, so we just had it in the
Uh,
backyard. But we
okay.
tried it out.
That
Jumped on
probably
it a couple
sucked with
times.
the rain.
Yeah, it didn't hold up well. Actually, it totally fell apart.
Okay, so there you go. Wait.
It's waterlogged and ruined. It's really uncomfortable now.
Oh man, that's really
Anyway, did you like yours?
I did, yeah. I set it up in my basement, and it's weird sleeping. It's actually made of, I think, recycled Force ghosts, and they do whisper secrets of the Force via my dreams. That's the conduit, and I'm not sure if they're good or bad, guys.
Huh.
I think they're talking about secrets I could unlock in the galaxy. But anyways, it was very comfortable. I slept very, very well. But also an endless sea of whispers
Yeah.
now lives inside my head.
Well, you know, it's a small price to pay. Well,
Yeah.
there you have it, everybody. 1 in 2 people like it.
There you go.
So-
50% success rate for Force Ghost mattresses delivered to your door. Not
USPS.
waterproof.
Yeah, yeah. Don't put them in the backyard when it's raining.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of sponsors, they are sponsoring the contest that you're doing on Tabletop Admiral. You want to talk about that contest?
Oh, yeah. So for those who don't know, there's a custom unit creator on Tabletop Admiral now, and I decided to have a contest to see who can make the best The Mandalorian unit card. And whoever wins is going to get a limited edition Commander Luke sent to your door, probably the same day your mattress arrives.
Yeah. Actually, you can get a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
What are the stipulations of the contest?
Are there stipulations? Well, to enter, you just name a unit, the Mandalorian, and I will look at them all, maybe get some help from some friends
Mm-hmm.
deciding who's the best. But judged based on, creativity, I would say is the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Think of some really flavorful keywords slash weapons slash all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. If you don't perfectly points cost him, I'm probably not a good judge of that anyway. So just
Right.
focus on good ideas.
And obviously, you don't yet, although I'm sure it's coming, have the capability to build, say, custom command cards or armament cards. So it does have to be contained to the one card,
Right.
right? Which is
Yep.
cool. Obviously, there's, you could have a counterpart, right? For,
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about Carl Weathers here, the
Right.
other star of The Mandalorian,
Yeah. I mean,
you
it's
know?
basically a Carl Weathers show.
Yeah, it is the Carl Weathers show. You get a stew going with old Carl Weathers. Um, I was trying to think anything else. What about what if people have multiple copies of The
Oh
Mandalorian
yeah.
created on their
So if
profile
if you give it a
page?
couple shots, I'll just look at the last one you did. You can't,
Cool.
you can't enter 5 times. So,
Right, right.
but if you screw up the first one and want to try again, I'll just whatever your most recent attempt is,
Cool.
that'll be your entry.
All right, that's a fun contest. I know you've put a lot of work into the custom unit creator. It looks awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Yep.
is, I should say, for Patreon supporters only. So if you can spare the dollar for 1 month, give it a
There you
shot.
go. Yeah, it's just $1. It's a
It's a
buck.
dollar.
Come on. Here's
Come on.
the thing. I know people are using Tabletop Admiral all the time because I use it like, 5 times a day. Just I'll be like, in the bathroom, thinking about my Casper mattress. I mean Force Ghost mattress. What's Casper? I don't know.
Oh
I
God,
don't
they're
know what
gonna
that
drop
is.
us now talking
Oh
about their
man,
competitors.
man, can we dump that? Can we get that edited out in post?
George, snip that when you edit this,
Yeah,
would you?
I was looking off into the producer booth
Right,
over
yeah.
here. That's where the producer booth is, not a wall.
Over there.
Definitely not
corner.
a wall right there. Anyways, you just pop it, take a look at. I actually now look at the most recent image lists a lot. That's a fun little pastime. It's better than Facebook. I'm gonna be honest. It's better than Facebook.
Which is
You know?
hard to do. I mean, Facebook
Yeah.
is maybe the best use of time available next to
Hey man,
Tabletop Admiral.
what if you dropped the and went just Tabletop Admiral? Drop the.
Oh, but there isn't a the.
What if you added the
And then took it
Tabletop
away,
Admiral?
give people
And
a
then,
taste,
Once people get used to it, drop it.
make it a Patreon feature.
Yeah, you use the Tabletop Admiral unless you get the $14 a month tier. Then it's just Tabletop Admiral.
Seems fair.
All right. Well, anything else we want to talk about here? We're past the half-hour mark for the Tabletop Admiral Power Hour, so I don't want to keep people. Don't want to eat up any more of people's valuable time.
People have come to expect a certain amount of time from this podcast
right.
in our history of one episode.
That's right. Yeah. So that is our. 3D printing. That's a thing that could be fun. I am getting into 3D printing, so I'm making tons of new terrain for us, which is pretty cool. It's a challenging hobby. There's like a lot to learn and just a lot of fiddly bits and understanding of things and how to slice. But there's also a really awesome community. So I've had some major issues, but also some pretty awesome successes. I now have one of each type of printer. If you don't know that, there's 2 different kinds. There's an FDM printer, which is maybe the one people are more largely familiar with. It prints melted plastic essentially and is like a nozzle that prints. In a way, all humans are kind of a 3D printer, so it works on a similar.
My mom 3D
means.
printed me.
Yeah. Really
How
wish
far
I
do
could
we
have
want
been
to
there,
take that
man. Really wish I could have seen that, man.
It was a sight to behold.
JK. Anyways, the other one is a.
Love you, Mom. Would love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah. I hope your mom is like, "Ooh, Andrew, let's watch your." And she just skips to the end. She's like, "Well, I don't need to
this is
see all
boring.
this.
What's
I'm
this?
just gonna
What?"
skip to the end." We will definitely lose sponsors for that one.
Mom sponsors.
Yeah.
Mom
We're gonna get MATA, Mothers Against Tabletop Admiral. Okay.
Yeah, I
What
hope
was
so.
it? MAD back in the day, Mothers Against Dungeons and Dragons, I think.
Well, I know Mothers Against Driving,
Yeah. Nah,
which
the D&D one was, I think, way more.
more
It,
legitimate.
it was more legitimate. It was also more about combating Satan. So,
Right. Which
had a little
can
more
you?
of a moral compass
I'm
to
not
it.
really sure you can combat Satan. It's best to just give in.
Yeah. Where were we talking about 3D
I
printing?
think we're talking about my mom.
Yeah, that's right.
What were you saying about that? Yes, 3D
Yeah.
printing. Yeah.
So, anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to point out that you have two 3D printers, and I still have to print our lists in color to bring them over because you don't have a color 2D printer.
2D printing. Yeah.
I guess your
you're
3D
right.
printers aren't color either. Well, they're
That's true.
monochrome.
So I have 0 color printers. Yeah.
A man's got to have a code.
That's right. I bought a laser printer. I will spend some money on a monocolor printer, but I will not get any color capability whatsoever. Never. That is when you got to show up at the lists in hand. You're kind of like a paper boy when you walk in. You should roll them up and throw them at my door.
I think I will. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Anyways, I'm gonna save talking about 3D printing. Maybe next time I'll show some of the stuff we're working on, because we are working on like a whole new table, which is gonna be really fun. I do want to talk about terrain in general and kind of our approach to it, but why don't we save that for next episode?
Yeah.
Because this tabletop Admiral Power Hour is getting much longer than our half-hour mandate.
Yeah, and if we talk about everything now, we won't have time for our next sponsor.
That's
in
right.
the next episode, so we just got to be smart about this.
That's right. We got to balance our time.
Because we got more sponsors.
Yeah, I think our organic mentioning of Force Ghost mattresses was spot on this time. We'll see what the sponsors have to say, but I think they're going to be very happy with this episode.
I think you'll be very pleased.
I think the CEO of Force Ghost mattresses, F. Patrick Ghost, is going to be just in the boardroom, leaning back like, I like what those boys did.
Counting his money, I would think. I mean,
that's right.
He's going to get a lot of orders. I hope he can handle it.
That's right. So be ready. Go enter your code. It's TTA, the Tabletop Admiral. You enter your code on forceghost.gov, and there we go.
And again, our apologies to Joe's Discount Harness. Yeah. We are sorry.
We are. I'm never going to live
that
one
But we're in
down.
it for the long haul with Force Ghost mattresses. I don't see anything going wrong with this.
Nope, me either. It should be just fine. All right, until next time, we'll see y'all around. I'm Steven.
I'm Andrew.
Are you? Why are you?
I'm Andrew.
I'm Andrew.